Hi, Nick Veach here. I'm here in Taipei. I'm in kind of next door to Ground Zero. We should have like tons of coronavirus patients here. We've got lots of reports, that's for sure. But is it really as hyped is it really as crazy as it's supposed to be? Well, here's a preview of what I found out when I took a look into this. Like 48 COVID-19 cases. Oh my God, the epidemic's just beginning. Right? Ooh. Well, really? How about this then? Let's keep reading. The Central Epidemic Command Center, this is here in Taipei, I guess, reported on March 11th that 342 additional cases. What? Additional cases related to coronavirus disease. Related to coronavirus disease. What the hell are they talking about? What do you mean related? Okay. Were reported on March 10th. In other words, yesterday, 342 additional cases were reported. Oh my God. Right? As of writing. Check this out. You're going to love this. A cumulative total of 14,970 cases have been reported, amongst which COVID-19 has been ruled out. Ruled out, as in not COVID virus. Of the 14,970 cases reported, how many were bullshit? Only 14,525. Okay. Okay, now back to the show. Hi, my name is Nick Veach. I'm here in Taipei, Taiwan, where we have the coronavirus. We're right next door to China. I was watching an episode of Joe Rogan. It's episode 1439, featuring a doctor by the name of Michael Osterholm. I'll let him introduce himself in a second. And the situation here in Taipei seems a lot better than you would expect, judging by the news. You'd think that because we're, as I say, next door to China, there's a lot of intercourse with China, air flights, fishermen boating back and forth, etc. Ocean cargo, and all the rest of it. You'd think that we'd be, up to our eyeballs in patients, but we're not, as I'll show. And with this Michael Osterholm basically pitching this super hype and saying we're all going to die and there's going to be 480,000 deaths. That's what he's predicting, 480,000 deaths before this is over. Okay, let's let the good doctor introduce himself.
All right, here we go. So what you said when you sat down was absolutely perfect. That the timing could not have been better. Well, tell everybody what you do, Michael.
Well, thank you. I'm, for lack of a better term, a medical detective. I've spent my whole career tracking infectious diseases down, trying to stop them, trying to understand where they come from so we can make sure they don't happen in the first place, but most of all, trying to respond to situations just like this.
Just like this. And all
right. He's the director of the Center for Infectious Disease Research and Policy, for example. Again, great position, very necessary. You need to have it. It needs to exist. However, there's a serious conflict of interest because this guy right now is singing for his supper. If he wants more funding to come to the Center for Infectious Disease Research and Policy, et cetera, or any of the other multiple bodies with which he's affiliated, he needs hype. He needs more bug, more virus, more fear, more whatever else. Again, I'm not making any accusations yet. Okay, and I may not make any accusations at all. Okay, but my point is you have to understand that no matter what position you are, if you're asking a person to cut themselves off at the knees by telling this a truth which will lead adversely to their economic bottom line, when it comes to most people, you're asking way too much because most people will not do that. Most people, money really, really counts. Okay, and they're not going to be honest.
Off the bat, how serious is this? Is this something that we need to be terrified of, or is this overblown, or how do you stand on this?
Well, first of all, you have to understand the timing of it in the sense that it's just beginning. And so in terms of what hurt, pain, suffering, death has happened so far is really just beginning.
Okay, let's test that proposition because it sounds like it's true, but actually, okay, since I've already gone through this stuff once before, I'm going to cut to the chase here. Were reported on March 10th. In other words, yesterday, 342 additional cases were reported. Oh my God. Right? As of writing, check this out. You're going to love this. A cumulative total of 14,970 cases have been reported, amongst which COVID-19 has been ruled out. Ruled out, as in not COVID virus. Of the 14,970 cases reported, how many were bullshit? Only 14,525. Okay. To continue, of these reported cases, infection with COVID-19 was laboratory confirmed in 48 cases. Okay? case number 48 was confirmed today. So today they added one more case. One. We have 20 million people here. We're right across from China. We have one more case. Oh my God. What? One more case. He's creeping up on us, man. It's early days. Yeah. Right? So again, of these reported cases, of the total of 14,000 and almost 15,000 cases, only 48 have been confirmed. Okay? These confirmed cases include 26 indigenous cases and 22 imported cases. Of the 48 confirmed cases, one died. We have a population of 20 million people. It's Chinese speaking. There's a huge amount of, like I say, interaction across the Taiwan Straits, right? Because a lot of people have family that work over in China. I mean, it's a huge population of local people who work in China. People come back and forth all the time, right? We have 48 cases, one death. Okay, we're right next door to ground zero. And that's all we got, okay? Right? Anyway, to finish up, of 48 confirmed cases, one died from the novel coronavirus, of course. That's tragic, whether it doesn't matter who it happens to, whether it's me or my wife or you or whoever, or if you're here in Taipei. And 17 were released from isolation, while the remainder are in a stable condition and remain hospitalized in isolation. Okay, let's check in again. Let's check in on the show again and see what the verdict is. I already showed you that we've had 15,000 cases, 15,000 alleged cases, almost all of which were bogus, only 48 of which were real, of which we have got one death. So what kind of clear and pressing danger are we facing? Well, let's check it and find out.
This and just off the bat, how serious is this? Is this something?
Yeah, how serious is this, man? Lay it on me. I can take it, my man. Look, I love Joe, but sometimes he's incredibly gullible.
Something that we need to be terrified of, or is this
terrified?
Overblown, or
maybe a tad.
How do you stand on this?
Well, first,
and when I say a tad, I'm talking about places where you have like a properly developed medical system, whether it's the United States, Canada, Europe, or or Taiwan or whatever else.
First of all, you have to understand the timing of it in the sense that it's just beginning, and so
not really, because we've already had 15,000 alleged cases here.
So in terms of what hurt, pain, suffering, death has happened so far is really just beginning.
It's just beginning. Really? 15,000 quote-unquote cases?
This is going to unfold for months to come yet. And that's, I think, what people don't quite yet understand.
Oh, I sure don't understand it.
What we saw in China, I'm convinced, as are many of my colleagues, as soon as they release all of these social distances, these mandated stay-in homes, haven't left their home in weeks and weeks kind of thing, when they go back
it's going to blow up.
To work, they're on planes, trains, subways, buses, crowded spaces, manufacturing plants. Even China is going to come back again.
Anyway, okay, I promised myself I'd try to keep this video short for once in my life. So I'm going to try to wrap it up here. Okay, like I was saying before, I'm not making any accusations about the good Dr. Michael Osterholm. I don't know him from a hole in the ground. But I have a lot of experience with junk science. Okay, whether it's HIV/AIDS, whether it's mad cow disease, when it comes to epidemiology anyway. The last incidence of SARS, for example. As I recall, if you take in Hong Kong back in, what was it, 2007 or something like that, if you take the number of flu cases and you add to that SARS cases together, you get a number which is within the annual average range of flu cases, I should say. So but what you basically had was you had different species of flu hit Hong Kong. One was more virulent than the rest. But actually, in the aggregate, it was just another average everyday year. In other words, you could have had this kind of situation happening over for centuries, where the flu would rush through Hong Kong or the Canton or wherever in that area, where it was populated. And you always had multiple flu viruses, and just in certain years, you would have one strain which is more virulent than the next. It would not have gone noticed. Now with modern technology, we can identify which strains are particularly virulent, and there was an overreaction. People were like, oh my God, everybody's going to die. But actually, that's not what happened for two reasons. A, I doubt very seriously that the strain was as virulent or as catchy as was initially predicted. And secondly, we have quarantine, we have doctors, we have, you've got government agencies that can close down borders, and all the rest of it. So there's no reason why, to expect something like the 1918 flu, which was also complicated by the fact that was the time when people got flu viruses from horses. That's another story entirely. I've got to cut this video short. Anyway, I hope I said something useful to you, and I hope to see you again next time. This is Nick Veach out here in Taipei, and I'll see you next time. Cheers. One last addendum. And when I say experience, I mean amateur experience. I'm what I look like, an amateur. I'm some guy in his basement. Well, I'm not in a basement, I'm on the 6th floor of an apartment building. But my experience is amateur. Having said that, I spent a lot of time. I spent 6 months on AIDS, probably, maybe 3 months on mad cow disease, SARS, another 3 months on that, et cetera, et cetera. I'm kind of an autodidact, always looking for original sources, that kind of a thing, which is why I went to the local Taiwan Centers for Disease Control. So I went there. I don't go to the AP. I don't go to the news headlines. I don't go to the New York Times. I don't give a damn what any of these clowns and these people who are who are basically in the business of pushing hype, right? I'm supposed to cut this short. I'll just say one more thing. In the media, there's 3 kinds of news. There's the truth, which does not expand your readership. There is plausible fake news and implausible fake news. And what increases circulation and wins you Pulitzer Prizes is plausible fake news. What if? Really? I mean, doesn't that mean, oh my gosh, then what about, then, oh. That's what sells. And that's what you don't. You want to always steer clear of, everywhere from the Times to the Post to whatever, to Salon Magazine or whatever else. These people all have an agenda to push a story to make money and to win prizes. I totally believe in capitalism, love it. But you have to understand people always have an agenda. You have to take everything with a grain of salt. People like the Taiwan Centers for Disease Control, the top echelon, it's against the crapshoot. Sometimes you have psychopaths, sometimes you don't. It all depends. But as far as I can see, we don't. So that's why I quoted them. Anyway, all right, enough. I'm gone. I got to get some dinner. Bye-bye. Cheers.